Welcome, I'm David.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Desmonds Donders. We're at Rosehearty this weekend, and this is the iconic range tower. It was the control tower for the bombing range used by the RAF previously. It's now been converted to a home. Interesting place to live. Let's on with a look round. Rosehearty lies on the north-facing coast of Aberdeenshire, 4 miles west of Fraserburgh. It was probably first settled by Danish fishermen in the 1300s, and the name means Abhartach's point in Old Gaelic. History fails to record who Abhartach was. In 1424 the Fraser family built Pitsligo Castle on the site a few hundred yards inland from the coast. This was considerably enlarged by the Forbes family in 1570. The remains of the two castles can be seen from Rosehearty. In the 1630s, Sir Alex Forbes, resident of the castle and later to become the First Lord of Pitsligo, dramatically expanded the existing settlement of Rosehearty. The aim was to develop a large commercial fishery, with Sir Alex taking 20% of everything landed at his new port. The harbour probably dates back to this expansion, and Pitsligo Church was built in 1632. One of Sir Alex's successors backed the wrong side in the 1715 Jacobite uprising, and the lands and title were forfeit. By the 1850s, both Pitsligo and Pittulie Castles were derelict, but Rosehearty itself was booming. 90 fishing boats were based here, supporting a range of marketing and processing activities. But when the railway cars came north, Scotland determinated at Fraserburgh rather than Rosehearty, and the local fishing industry moved there almost overnight. Today's Rosehearty contains an active, if not exactly busy, harbour, and this lies at the east end of the old heart of the village, Fisher Town, which still has its distinctive rows of fishermen's cottages. It extends around the shoreline from the harbour not far above the high tide mark, and this might be an exciting place in a northerly storm. To the south of Fishertown is the new town built largely during the boom years of the 1800s. This is focused on its large square, and the southern side of Rosehearty is still more recent, concluding with the 9-hole golf course and the open land around it and the 2 castles. On the west side of Rosehearty is one of the most recent and most distinctive structures, a tall white observation tower associated with the military ranges off the coast.
Pitsligo Castle, what's left of it, just outside Rosehearty.
Pitsligo Castle can be found on the slopes of a prominent hill overlooking the sandy bay of Rosehearty. The location is not particularly strong or strategically important, but looked over the shipping route along the Moray Coast and may have been of significance for sailors having navigated round the northeast corner of Aberdeenshire. The castle consists of the ruins of the 15th century Great Tower and associated courtyard, which is lined with the remains of 16th century ranges of buildings. In addition is an outer court and formal approach to the west. The Great Tower is built slightly off square and has walls over 3 metres thick at the base. The vaulted basement contains a single slit window to the west with a mural stair coming down to the northwest corner. In addition, a second mural stair in the northeast corner comes down to an entrance lobby in the thickness of the walls, which opened out into the courtyard and forms the only visible entrance to the tower house today. There was at least 1 story above containing bedrooms, and this was removed in the early 18th century. This tower is situated within a quadrangular courtyard dating to the 16th century with a round tower in the southeast corner. The entrance to the courtyard was to the west through an arched tunnel within the western range of buildings, which survive as a series of small vaulted rooms. Larger buildings lined the north side, again all vaulted, and in the northeast corner was a kitchen complex to the round tower, and additional stories above. An external stair led to the first floor. Heraldic panels showed the Royal Arms of Scotland and the date 1577. One dated 1603 with the arms of the UK, and an armorial with the arms of Forbes and Fraser quartered, impaled with those of Buchan, can be seen on the mansion remains. This cannot be dated as it was used by all the Forbeses of Pitsligo. The lands of Pitsligo were originally part of the earldom of Buchan and appear to have been one of the estates which passed to the Earls of Ross after the breaking up of the earldom by Robert Bruce. When Earl William of Ross died, one of his heiress daughters was married to Alexander Fraser of Cowie and inherited Pitsligo amongst other lands. Their son William gave Pitsligo to his daughter as her marriage portion, when she married Sir William Forbes of Kinaldy, younger brother of the First Lord Forbes, presumably early in the 15th century. It is believed that William, who was the first of the Forbes of Pitsligo, was responsible for the building of the Great Tower. Another John, Alexander's great-grandson, was laird in 1603, and his son Alexander, who was made the first Lord Forbes of Pitsligo in 1633. Eventually, the Forbes family made the mistake of supporting the Jacobite cause, and in 1745 were attainted and their estate forfeit to the crown. The castle was looted by Flemish troops and sold to the Gordon family of Troop, who removed the roofs and left the castle to the elements. Today the castle is still undergoing restoration work, which is being carried out for the Pitsligo Castle Trust, a charity with strong local support in the Friends of Pitsligo Castle. Rosehearty, and it's kind of typical. For the first time since we arrived here, the sun is out. It wasn't a bad day yesterday, but not as bright as sunshiny as today. Thank you for watching Desmonds Donders. And remember, please take nothing but memories and leave nothing but tracks. Please subscribe and ring the bell for notifications, and hopefully we'll see you next time.